Hello, my U-Turn family. Welcome to the U-Turn Show. If you are new, this is a platform for empowering our communities through impactful conversations, real life stories, and resources for youth and women. Every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we gather here to spotlight voices that challenge limits and those that reminds us that real change begins the moment we choose to turn in a new direction, to make a new turn. So, if you are navigating change in your life, looking for clarity, or building the next big thing, you belong here. So, share this conversation and stick with us as we begin the real talk, real growth, real U turn.
Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to the U-Turn Conversation. Thank you for joining us tonight as we explore the topic that touches the foundation of every family, every society, and that is uh, entitled to be uh, head of the family, leadership and responsibility, or just tradition. You know, for generations, many cultures have defined the structure of the family and about the idea of head. So tonight, we are here to dive in what it truly actually means to be the head of the family, and much of our conversation will be maybe the 70% of this conversation will be uh, the language that you speak the most. It could be Dinka, could be Arabic. Tonight, we're joined by one of our great speakers and one of the uh, great uncles and our brother, that is Anyar Kolanyeth, all the way from South Sudan. And I will be the host of tonight's show. And my name is Cholmach Kwal, joining from Kigali, having my colleague also Alakir. And I think the other one has left. So tonight's conversation is not about creating division between men. And you know, when we actually talk about the head of the family, sometimes our minds runs into, you know, division, how families are divided, about between men and the women. It's about understanding the responsibility, leadership, and the values that sustain families or strong families. So we want to question and reflect and learn from different perspectives while remaining respectful to one another. So at UTAN, we believe that meaningful conversations can challenge assumptions and open space for understanding. So tonight conversation, I want us to be very free, whether it being our audience, our guests who are up here, who will dive into the conversation. There are questions that will guide the conversations, and I've jotted them down, and this is how it will work. I'll be asking one question from one of the panelists here, uh, and after you answering, you give it to the next person to also give the share the opinions, his or her opinions about the same questions, and we see your reactions as our audience, and we see how the show will progress and come to the final conclusion at the end of the day. So thank you very much. Let me give this opportunity to our brother Anyar to introduce himself and also tell us about his opinions about what he will share tonight. Thank you. Welcome, brother Anyar.
Thank you so much, Chol Mindful, and my daughter Alakir. Uh, a call can I chen ya well chan but on yutan anong daman diktani butuben anong topic ju chuka dairom on this platform. I think this is my first time chan but screen in on this great platform. Ke kai rin che kan ne chike gwela ni chola nyar kwal anyet aran tung koi nong bai kana queen koi nong bai kanong my family ada topping in jaku he ke dawo dia kul chen wayen ka romon ai cha lue na de ke family chen professor de yen ran ye jal pio cha kuten chi betul na de ka ne kanyi chen eklan ye wo pie tin ta to ko ban kayen wo pie guten chi bu tung the kariri to nong by ke unique wa ken ka ke ban family anong different principle iron ke ka tung chan bichol family lekin pane ke la piat pane ke la raj pane ila ba pande yu kunong ti chen yen gwertin pande anong ti chen yen gwertin ku kre pan ti ku le bay pane ken ka ben ya tong de pane ken yen ke tung the kai unique to la by a family is just a one test with different questions. So I ran took a test to get in a kind way ran lekin on question paper day. Question on the paper day a wide but hitting it. Ngay question kay ka answer chicho to core and getting in get on a bike. Nabu jam the key choy leadership kujela headship in the family. Keka kor bukan duok bukan date ke kwachi mat kaki ya ke yinga. Kwachi mat kuchuke nyi ke wayen bu bi chang ide yene ka yen wa baitin na tingen ke yene bi be a family eran to ken ka kor chan be a family ku family kene chak chan be a mo kene ti ken ke te jwir ne le chen a che ke de ko che ke golran eno wuni yene golen wan yene chak ran ne le golur ka chi pet chan bran be to eto be moj be to eto ka ba chak du kunde ke tung kene yen du kunde tung kene yen kene yene ka ci ben ya tik ku ke golle ci le chwiny ni tiom de pe e yeran tong kene ne ke te ke nro yene ke te ke ro benang two purposes ago to fulfill uh, the, the purpose of creation beran bi chak iyada etung ci yenen kana bi din na pin wo ka ben wo ko to screen yin ni jela ko to pin why creation of human why creation of god creation of God ke kaya dem kene kawan ku je responsibility je yen ke na de ke koy kaka abro jal bela chak ne ke biro la dit ana te mar kwa kwar kwa ke nimon ke wachito because anon koy ran ko te man mit kero so do you know how many children to get them nimtin aji so kana reirani chak ke wachito so responsibility di chagene ke yineran chan brer benang koy ko be ke dit benang family now ke family kene yongo family kene a union yene ke create wirchan be a family ku ke responsibility ben ya lebe biag da kuma de betaw na ranchin so I'm more of a church person ben ya lebe biaka kuma de betaw na ranchin ago nang bang tin biran be ben mic ni yen e kene ke ya chol bai ben ke bi pan kene nong longu ke chi ke tawtin ake lulala mo jene ka biyanom da bai ko boti ke du kunde na wetin kene yene kato na gam relationship den ye ka chi relationship na kam de driver kene conductor yene ke kam di ti kene mo jene driver era ni to ko muk dikson yene kanyi direction lo ko di ku conductor e muk sul ko to rie yen ke muksul well being de ko to rie bu ko to rie ka bi pya di de nga chinju cha pya comfortable yen ke concern gam nana de ka pya bu ko lo kwer du la chidi so ko ke karo ai luine tok no lon tok with one vision bu ko lo destination in a core benelatin now na buku the family kena ache rule by one person in isolation of others. Shema na belo ko la mo jen kenom de bai ke bi anom de bai ache yeni yok na na de ke ke decision maker ku yene ke final person create ben team Ke kor na le che kor ber ko ka biron mach in a consultative manner. Na ngon mi ka kor ke kwai ke kero ke ka ni ku char ke de yiti ke ne mo dik ting ke ne yene ke kor ne biag de panden yene ke kor de lo mit ken yene ke kor lo the vision about life ken yene ke kor kwen ke yin yaran biron mach biron nyar bi nyin ati nurut so na jam ku ki chol hit ka hit of the family ke muksuali ya yin ran ku jaltaw ne ka chen bi moj bi ya yana du ngor ku boti ke du kundi yen so ka chen ki moy lo ya tok no muk suole ay ki liu tik tin achira ne ben ke autocrat bu boku nyoy ku le ke talamat ne communities kwan ke te wa tin man thio kana eh autocracy yen ka chidit akaye moj ben ku nyu ci ba chale ju kurtin de ku le ke chal welu na bekene lo yale e kene la dim bu loy mane akin consultation yo nguchira lon wan ubelo ya dachin biut no ran ti kriji bene ya karara pa ya che maine karara ba ya he maine long be ya guide yen ke kor kwanong liberal kind of leadership in the family yen nga lui chi ko kor ekin kene dangerous so under this topic let me give this as a bonus ketie kene jared buye topping kene buram ne man tay kene koy ping wok ping ku jula wo koy to na ba dola bariok kaba kanisa riok kaba society bariok ke ka chi kura atomic bomb biayen babu ku chwad pinchan bu ko to tin bu ke graj akor distorted families chi wer families chi riak families chin direction e easy ba families chin direction kaka be me the danger to the society be race e families chi wer kaka a ko chi bi ake problem to the society ke kai problem to the church ke kai problem to the nation. So ke family men, family women, kake ke kai Louis serve at the higher positions ke society, ke kanisa, ke dola. Ana chike chopin by chike choi leadership chinyi by kwa accountability. Kujila ke choi better in a position of authority by use wisely for the benefit of others. Kuwala nang a very good society, a peaceful society, responsible country, and a peaceful churches. Manthio kene problem ke kanisa I ben because one of problem ke bay ko. Problem ke dollar ata because one of problem the bay. Problem ke society ata because one of problem ke bay ko. Working ke choi leadership. Aken ku kalom with accountability. Bo authority be a guidance. Chi ke ben ke enerut. You bache roloi like a taskmaster by. Anti bear kenen ke karbagam ke introduction. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Achalui capture appeared. You really elaborate, explain, and apply the concept head of the family. In my opinion, what it means, head of the family, I believe it kind of a leadership, right? There are two things where I stay. There is, being head of the family. There's being a breadwinner. These are two different things I watch, right? Anyone can be breadwinner. Head of the family, it depends. Of course, mom is the head of the family. And what what actually constitute being head of the family, a and leadership can and leadership where the family well-being, the family resources, the family goals and plans are prioritize where Ranabin is equally valued. Their their Charlie. The personal goal are taken into account. Your instruction you have to do like this just because I said it, right? That's authoritative management or leadership of a family. Division where resentment. So I'm talking about leadership confused with power, and then you start using this power to tell people what to do. Yeah, meet, yeah, take. You tell them you have to do this just because I said it. No logical explanation for behavior, and that will breed like resentment. Later on in life, the children will not even want to connect with their family because guess what? When they were in that family, they were under a dictator. Actually, it was a very uncomfortable experience. So I hope we can explore this topic with open-mindedness and with everybody's well-being considered. And what happened when this head of the family is taken out of context and used as a tool, to oppress Kaito in the family, right? So anyone could be breadwinner. Woman could be the breadwinner of the family. The man could still be head in some way. And the family can still live in harmony. So achi family chito in harmony, the leadership has not been taken as as what it means to be head of family. Family chalom, a use of power to direct and to control what people can and cannot do, right? So that's my understanding. I look forward to more conversation about the questions and about this, but we also need to hear from Joel. What do you think, head of the family? Yeke yin demon. Yin kwan walking one family, but you need to tell us what do you envision for your family, or what do you see around your environment?
Okay, thank you, Nyar and Lakir for echoing on very many points around that. Why I brought up this discussion is that we have always known that men are the one heading families, and that was in the past. So I wanted us to dive into this conversation tonight and see around, as our societies evolve, like they're growing, and also there's also growing conversation around women empowerment. So and that one came into my mind that does it really change with women empowerment? Does it really change the fact that with our today's women being empowered, uh, can it also change the fact that men used to be the head of the families, that any person can be the head of the family? So that's why I came up with the conversation. So around anyare ko do bible jilo ne chiapen ko ban immo che bogene twen jalti go begene du kunde and natural lo dispute ken ni ko mana de ti ken ya du kunyu mo about in a family whereby jama de we chiro nyar ku yin mo dadu tik yen ka ngar tu ngare in terms of maybe resources ye ke bay yen ga longa de but a chi gam a chi yo gam with the london to in chin ke to ni ga chi gam yen ga man jel to ten ki jala du kunyu ngam man ten mana jana. Oh, can it change the fact that mana de yen tik yen tik is empowered and she's providing for the family everything? The gill with the fact gear mana de yen tik that yen ga ngar ba much kat de much yen to twing na chi resources ka long resources. I can't understand, is it a tradition or maybe ye ke to mana ne budu bible ke lu mana de ken with women empowerment or with a lot of things changing, the fact still remain that head of the family mo long kanga chin kanga ka yene mo. So ina nyara korba du chen ten uh, my opinions are bijal ben at the end of the ngadi, but I'm the one leading the conversation. I will be giving the questions. So what do you have to say about women empowerment in regards to headship?
Thank you so much. The question can indicate central to our problem of the society at the moment. Na you can competition dito. Kam diru kan diar. Kichibe ai resources to na kwakin. Anachira nang kang keti. Kale ralum that yana kachinang authority of leadership. Beni a leader by. Bento ke head of the house. Itin kina chini tande. Chatinke Mikil Aret. Nalwell diaraku use of resources. Kaka chitke ledene chalwell kukaba juir. Na witi kina lat. Alan chihoin ya tut kaya alan piada chihoin. Kulaka ke kakalweli chaka doki cha dudi ya beli langa ankena lana kuite wachetin. Kaka chele kule ni yen chinke wene yen kakalwel. ena na ken ba ke kuna ken ka lo ya ke yana cha ma ge la ka chem ke ka cha che ka randa ni ke society ria ke che women empowerment anong ti kan ke mo je to ke insecure because ni cool be ke ter abelar ka ke tik ke cham cool be ke nang disagreement ke weaknesses ka be ke expose nana de ke mo chi tu de chin ge bai bai yi ti en cham tin ku ki mi cham ku su ku mi ku jo la ngaben akui ti ne yeti bana ye mo ke ka gum ti chon bai cham ku ten je to for his entire life ke ka gum ku ka chi pin ga lat ko ni hen a chi ti lat ko chi mi ka lat ku na ye ti gene no ka ke a chi lu bi a diar bana no diar ko che ran ke responsibility cholom akana cho ke de gum load the bai ku cho ga ne ye ke ka he ku gum ke mi pyo chen mikla diar ka le in the society a chi ju but majority of the women a yi ga yo ke nong spirit na chiran chinang kang ke ka luit mo disown diar ku chi kwet ke kai ror chi kor ku mo ku chi kwet ke dior kor kenene ke we di ti kana mo jeten. Now back to the topic. Yongwe bi wo pin kene ye nong ran mal kay bia do authority chin ali tao ikan gene achie kre kene mal ana chitik bendi chen kang rurit ni etang kene akarana bena lui because kena chia pir de wo ene ka chewa benti na chi berato on ene dompur chi berato on ene tim yo chi berato on ene yaplai chi berato on ene re mai ku ke bene ka pir chi berato on ene weng la kor ku bia ene ben chambai ku yoke mo ne ka koromit ku ene yo ka cha submissive to nongen now man theokene community any che wabentin watch bent to the changing society where any kang road war akake pir ne te gona che ke bera ka pir ne yamane. Take example a man jam wakene uh, na abia high to well and but let me say like this ke choy we a chulung riok to lo community ene te watin kichi ko ju choy sai ko panaman theoke more kusu especially chabab aguchi koi dir ko kichi ka choi sai ko pane ki choi we deto anachi ranon we yen kerot kor bu worship bu door a spirit kena chi bana guchi achilu in creep into the families akayen ranon we akanachi lolana tekin eka chirke the door ku jor nyal bi ayen hit of the family because then ke can provide a kitty a distorted view of the family headship. So ke chai family ku bi ngor ke teo na ran chin ran imuch. Ko boti ke du kuny yen. Ko ka lu lead ke ye ran ke ran kwany. Kwany na chiti kinang wo ke ka che mo chi choi du kuny de. Nong to loka ine pin ke gwir mana na te ko ran le blo ko ne kanisa nom ke ti ku lo la lo an cha wo du kuny de. No, it's supposed to be an cha waran yan du kuny de. By the way, there are very good managers ku ka chengu achieve good achieve good hit of the families. Can I tell in that role be a hit of the families? You see a lot of problem. Take example pan chen mo chen mo gole dek akachin good advice about gamgachin guidance. By bene where chakle we ticket token on stress. Method token on stress by because unable kangor achiliu. Kina chan achan jam to local when chila dong ke single parent ci mana ci mo ci la riak aka ci pir ku ti gene ka ci dong tin kene ci ku mo ke ka en ka lo loin tin but tin pir mo e nang a lot of stress yen ko do that mo inde ka ci ka wochi yen ken nom de bai ko ci riak ke bai ro lo ci pan ngor ran ci tem nom ro era lo ci pan ci tem nom ro akana be mo binang ka lwel bai ku ka ci de ke khairan ben to ke chi pyo met because a chi beto ne chokai so na nong ting nong wo ke ka che ne tao be a office a che ke ne kana lui qualify che ke god chen sukule ne god tin ke chai family headship a divine ordination a ke bi ne le nong we ka chin we che lun ka chinol che ka ber aguti chin tong le ken ka de ke moin de bai na nong din kor ben ye pres ke moin de bai chak lo ke le la ga ku chin tong le ke ka de ke kai ke nga ke moin de bai che de le re tin chi nye ye ten despite how much you earn kinetic ken gana che in a lar by a hit of the family but na cha breadwinner a in chi kang bai bai ke ka chin te position bina ine moin de bai e ken gana chi to ne ya so ile baka ju chale baka loy bai na muk sole de weuto ni chin bara che yini choy mo nom de bai che yini choy mo kene nom de bai e mo
I, and thank you, Anyar. I think a lot of women down there are very uncomfortable, like in some way. But to me, I believe you are telling the fact because now I kichala bear in chingade tuale na batuala kacha bear because kikar but the next should family leadership be determined by gender or by competence and responsibility. Does being male or female automatically qualify someone to be uh, a lead in a household? So, in your opinion, which I shared already, I'll give the chance also to our uh, new panelist, that is Engineer Quir. Can you share your opinion about this second question? Kubu bala kiyar ba kiti na jal ba jaw. Ngin ka dalta na kwai cha convince ka ngor kina convince. So engineer Quir,
Kira kwa ye convince.
I am not convinced.
Then add something and I will iron it out later. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Question to it: should family leadership be determined by gender or by competence and responsibility? Does being male or female automatically qualify you as a head of the family? Personally, I think having seen different different cultures, different ways of organizing life, I think the gender is irrelevant when it comes to head of the family, and it just comes from qualities of being a leader. You know, we've seen women lead organizations, we've seen women lead countries, we've seen women lead in spaces where traditionally, for where we come from, culture that we would not have imagined Alibidia Alibigalwe lead. So in the age of women empowerment, I believe anybody, you know, leadership is fair game in the family or the outside. That is in theory. In reality, who should lead the family comes down to two people and how they want to organize their family. And I think this is where we how we're gonna lead our family. Any external factors to be considered are irrelevant, right? So I a Christian family and they want to follow the Bible, of course, man leads the family and woman is don't know, they call the neck of the family. So in my opinion, doesn't matter resources. Yeah, done. If the woman is the one earning income, they are called breadwinner of the family. If they agree, women and men, the man still has to be head of the family in terms of decision making, in terms of leading the family and the children and the values and ABCD, and the woman could still earn money. They could still work well together. Now, if we want to follow the traditional leader of the family model, where the man is the breadwinner, is the leader, is the you know, be is the one giving instruction in the household, then ke kalu work, right? Because achin daman bin take hit me alar ko walai duni you rated my bantalon. You're the one who bought the bantalon. We na check bantalon by. So all is to you. I also want to respond to the when it was mentioned that when men have money, they go to women. I think it's the other way around. When men have money, women come to them, right? A lot of women will come. And when women have money, I think it's a little difficult for men to come to them because the dynamic is going to be different and hard to navigate. And by default, it has been condition ache to ra che ka pe na de ku yin che wu ka family lo ka chin te ba cheng, you know, peer liberated in core in the family, and that's not a desirable position. Be ran with a thing. Now, the the earning of resources and being leader of the family are two different things. Of course, women may use it as a tool to say, hey, I make money just like you do. You can't tell me what to do. That can exist. But I also want to say, bad character exists. Whether tik loy wo wala chi wo chika loy, ku jeran to ke bad character, ilo ran chi kwe ti ga chirka kureru no queer, right? That's the saying. That bad character have been. And I don't want us to take in this information that if women are empowered, they are destructive to the family unit. That's the one thing we need to, the myth that we need to reinforcing by saying yeah right we behave badly because I know maybe I have bad behavior but I can area you one because I can go talk and again I think the true color will show, and everybody true color show when they are in power, they have a lot of resources. So our Politan, I think I'm still not convinced. I think anyone can be head of the family. How you manage that family is between you and the other person, is the two people until kids come in. And anyone can be breadwinner, whether they are the head or not the head. So there you have it.
And engineer Quir, before you coming in, I think kakar baga highlight in our comments. Pia tiga gorina. Tiang riak by jam alul yung qualities ngade head of the family. Kwa cheli ya ju back after na cheli ra kwa ngi bangul ya da. Alul okay go pol da bana de mo jen head of the family. Kuna ira ai mo responsibility chiga lui carry. Ki head of no walwel ne yilwel ina nyara yilwel head of the family kina head of the family eba responsibilities by handle when you lead the family in all sorts of ways. Yung na achiga look okay, you're not carrying the responsibilities kini head of no.
Thank you so much. Ale chatiyang riak bai ne question chikan tijen ka banen gol. Satinki problem the community da yene te wo pinman tiyo kana. Ay kachukoi riyo kachukoi rai ke kai mikila. Kujela negative influences. Keka kachubai riyo. Nangen ku qualities ke koi wen ke piat. Ke qualities korot at Lewabung the Proverbs chapter 29 paragraph 2. Ijam lang Proverbs chapter 29 paragraph 2. Ano where piata tinel allo when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourns. Bekohela jik bito na reality. Biake to na reality. Kakwachai pio la yung. Moin the buy, kene nom the buy, keep at the iron security buy. Anong koi to na community day, kilo na boran, kiti kumet, alobo koi la jok mis kokolo kai karamela tian. Chakil wele kene quick lo rote each. Koi ko kaira kay mis kai mute, ti yoka ka pol ba chale. Kaka da gudan jibila tian, ur kaka pol kaka, gol ke chwerwe. Na chupa ba chale je mwenye ka gol ka wechi ka ke yuk. Ran kene achi ati ay to la ye family kene. Cholo ngera ba ban ke dungor di pan kene ke kachin ko nger kek. Kwen ke wo bay ne biu da le ngade comment ne aler. Achin ko nger ke why ko ye de nger ke di patar ke. Baya head of the family achi batoro na kwaj bay. Achi baya connected, achi baya kenang mit. Bade baka ngor baka nyodi kuno idel. Baka ngor in decision making, baka guide ne pir ban baya mentor by. Ana cha ben kala bacho by ko cha comfortable kaka nwan ke gimite questions. Yine to in a position bin question can bear. tikala biti medala biti ran bene radio that yin ke ran ye kerot gay yin ke men ye kerot gay by. That is being a man in the house. Win ke heat of the house. Na talking insecurity yin na community yen. Ke pan gana talk ich where bai ju cha jela bil ka muk because na jera jel tik bi jal pande kuler panden ke kale cho wachiran ga mena ilwa baya yin ya ban because baya che where abe man la yuki uno ni ke kena chi un ke chwa we kena lo ke yo ji ben bai ke ben ko kwegrot kan ben tang che un lo ga chenin ena bi ka bogo tien ken ke be to kaka so krana kiti ka lebu gum gare bai ten because an achin de dar king ke te da to because then ke society ben again achelo na bu society rio ke be families biria because long abeliu abichen direction to beneran yaktineran yikene yen ngoye qualities inde ke yen ke yen family yen ke te woto ni jamen ke te wo lantin ana koro ba nyi pan ke ni chengu kin ngen mit yong yen ke pol bai ke pol ke yen ke elwel na chi ga nim la kuot ku gol gre dui ken ke bai ken ken ke ki un loy na i nyan tin ko lo ke ku let ko ken ke ki man loy so akana yi ko pol ka lar na yi ko pol ka loy dor kala sken ke family ken ken because ke town nom do message ke to bai ke family need of the family ebe by ngor by guide by lead with love. Eka kuliu kiti nong mo bara min be by provide because a Paulo el na de yen man che pande chin ki yenen chin ki baitin atung ken ran kin gam so na chin ki bi mo ba ka chin ki loy ke bai ka tung ken ran kin gam so kena tung ken ran kin gam ran che gam ki ni mo kin ya hit of the family wude because na chin lui mà lấy cho nó coi quên cho cái mà đủ chín ran cái chín là bên cái căng lôi kun nãy mùi nòng cực quyền cái phụ lụt quay cái lui cái bàn cái này chưa một số này yên thì cho ra giam à kana ping screen yên đến ku kan chỉ lui apologize because nãy mùi chia lui ku kana nóm ti ku kana nóm mít cái yêu ngôi cái lôi tin cái ran chia lui cái chi a chi liberate claim nana de cái head of the family nghe đi so na you can ter kana tik bai na daga chin ki mon kana lo ku ka chilon da chi wo ki tin kana ka nong right bana lo ku in a spiritual sense ki ke family lu establish ni ale kan principle benien ngor no mo no matter what ke mo jen ke nom de bai chetik yen ke ka tatin but na jel ku bene resources biag de empowerment na chitik empower kana wo ke le claim na de ke nom de bai ke kin gena conflict gen ke ban bai definitely because ti ga chirot ben yo ke moksul ana rur kok chukto chirol ken gam voluntarily akana no ngo kor bi ti mo ke kalwe lo ti ke man ngadi ke ko ka to because ye we to ba ti yen kalwe konje lo ti man ngadi ye wer bi ti ke kalwe karam man ngadi konti bi jal ba ba kan lwel achin decision ni yen ke kor ben pande ayeno ti konsal bi ayen bukang lwel eke na chin mikila cha lwela karaj because the chen ke rut piangtin banaya principle ke choy family ke mojen ke ngore cheti achie ke debate based on resources to kanga achie ke lwel ni jepi eke lwel no ordination the by chap introduce nana de family a divine ordination okay game ke part of god unit unit of god government smallest unit of god government biran be ben mach kana mach yen ka mine principle ke korot chen ke mo chen ke entaut na cho to non ko jam nana de kan chen na le chegam ka che ke yenom lao ben ke arer ke lui woda the by lui ke disrespect ke ngana liutin para korot bumo ya lui a korot bumo ya mo ni pande nyar ni ati bichera na ga dior ko na ti ki na ngoman so chatting wan ku kana be hakre kolpe para pe ba mi ku ba ka guide ba pandu mamentet agutin benang direction en ke korot no mo ku ke kai ka korot mo inde ba ya pe benam nang vision it ler ba it pe mi pyo it ler gatin pe beting the guide ne ka ko pe be ya provide da ba na choti jala compliment kay compliment ke no korot. Thank you.
Engineer Kurigach, I think anong ba echo about ga ngade kachi nyar ke chige ngade shige share in vijal ba jam about ngade does really ba chuman the question to within assuming man adekin a woman's become the primary provider, uh, does that one redefine who the head of the family is, or is leadership separate from income or from provisions that you give to the family? Because na alar kuti yang ante na nyare ne define head of the family. Kaya ngin ki a tradition. It's something that is egebo from the divine. En ke tikane yote ne ke chalo na nyare ken. Nongi ni ada in that context, or maybe pal kita tan ter ken kulong man te iyo libro gi ka di ito ya.
Yeah, shukran chol ko wan ma da nyar ku nyan kai da la kir ku jala the yutan family ben we cha ke le ku we cha ke mot. So yeah, topping piadaret ku ke sensitive at some point. Yen amber bear a ketchake ko kabi bear ayadang based on comment below at okay because I have switched to the comment section. So I'm belaka bear cock be akadang. So yen where achi elda nyara che we are paying one there. Okay, yana na we we are paying. I will just build on it because daman one there, especially layer recreation wala be layer African traditional societies wala be bay in this modern life. So kak chol baya banang reale daman kana achene ya determine yinike head of the family. For example, na tiag nyana weneng, for example aneng PhD kwaneng and bachelor's degree. That one doesn't determine, even if na a president, it doesn't determine a head of the family. Yeah, a head of the state, which is South Sudan, but it's not the head of the family panda. Well, a pandia. Okay. So, kwambinang example gag by most scenarios chiraka. Chatting daman one, kaya no mo tao kaya head of the family. uh, you know, ran the actual head of the family, ran a win a quachonim pin, okay, nanang arriere nom well and anything related to that, a yenaka loy, a yen ran a theoloy, a yen ran a queen family, a yen dot provide those days, we yen a yin ne resources ke buy yen ke oversee of those resources kuna nen ke yindi nen ke kor be pan he ko be yore yen ke ko ku lui ke ne protect anen video chi Nigerian che ke loy gwa dollar it ai eti kana mo nda ja tera ilwel ti kalwela ne ke head of the family wel ke danga ne ke head of the family go robas go ku gwa ben well, who is the head of the family? Go nga nyot chana terwit go mo go tinga go nyot ku nyot tinga nyot mo chating when na chi tinga chi jo ben conclude ko le ya ine ke kadang ichal mo ine ke head of the family. So na ja bay into ngadi a solid point. So being a provider, a white can buy a head of the family. So head of the family atau kaya tradition kwayan kayane meet name after the kadang yana ka yin ting jeng mi da ya ka name after the man inche name after your mother mana document ke jan che chol kwera gon ma kwa chating an chol kwera jwan kwera tu. So that is the sole reason yana mo yana head of the family, unless otherwise naneng te bene rock get in Allah be na chol pura got, that's where the ban and thing here. Aba ben pari ala chan be I and head of the family. Kudang ko road bron ngi ya dang ko ko. You know, yin when a thing do, you are not in any competition. A chiton male ka chil wel wan. Alwele naja lu compete when a thing do, then a chin ke tia yen a chin ke you have nothing a chin life do a chin meaning at all. Chatting e were ton ne ka lu kwat because thing do we partners we chi ter a chin ke ter ke actually, you know. So this thing ye hate ku ka che hate ye leg wala neck chuma ne no ko ka topin ka ki I minor kadang. So in conclusion, mo yene ke head of the family by virtue yene yen ordained from God, you know, kujala by virtue yene ancestors ko achi ketie achi authority achi ke invest because ke luye ke chi yene authority. So being a provider e pay yeah ting dia kului an ken tie ba de ne le. So ting dia kului eh kunen ka wenwen ku ke ting e pande achi e panda what actually. So nanen ka ka ting ka nwen ku kon ke achene you qualify ka chia head of the family. So chiang jeng mo ku cheto ache tik yen li don ke head of the family era na wendi chama na ye ko du wala ngo, and that's why chama na baba du ku cheto rana ko li cha che mamadu eda biya wulen wala biya mamadu randi danga yen ka ye bali ta wa che ya immediate yen ka yine ting inche kadang ye chol mu inche immediate duty, let me say like that, chatting to your husband at some point. So all in all, I can go when kadang ye chol mu responsibility pay kujala kadang pay. Likin na chaya mo nya wena fashil pirit achin ke yeloy na ye mo nya wena fashil chaka kwandun e ijay ka che yiting du. I remember anang koy kok na yin ke daga mau for example chan miawe yani immediate kadang ko che non neng kan nieren ke an hana dot mention. So na ye yin ke daga miaw in che cha laot banyu je tianga nyandu no kene che ro de loy ero loy because it ku ting du a chen ye determine biting du banyu je kadang no maya chating. So ke ya ko bal vele ten in conclusion by a breadwinner e pay kujala role being a head of the family e pay chating adaka ko ja Louis thrive chan bran bu gab ka loy chating adaka ye no ka ja loy na ye chama na ye net worth de na ye 15 billion ka na ka bo ting dia ku lui work hard ku wana no neng yi 51 billion ka be ya head bel nyo lu ya aya that one a chen sense ye lo ten choko ting. So adake competition ku look nim ba primary responsibilities kwa ka waye kana. So in summary ting do which you will compete when you even when you don't compete with your husband. So we partners. Chokoran.
Yeah, no, and thank you, engineer. Good judge. I deal you. Go you know na nyar which mat and a lot of people down here. Comments can I get thing. Ki ko je you ke bai. Achi long ran julu comment na. Aha. Edaw wal ka although the head of family is a man or a woman who responds to the family's affairs in, in a lovely and a caring manner. Don't confuse families to relationship. So women will fight it as their right. So kiyo ko really and I really they are alibianim gabaya in all sorts of ways because actual definition ya la government when ya man ada kien head of the family a provider ran by gil and definition kuka kabana yidiar galo na I think loy kaka or maybe in an instant whereby there are shared responsibilities we ka kun a chaka manage with their way coach empowered with their now like just a tradition or but will ngade head of the family a provider we mean you what they are by empowered women empowerment abu pol budul we ko rani chukwari yet because we are provider we are head of the families we ka create ben so yung amana in they are by empowered so in banyanyar ba where because ala ngana like they are empowered it is the same contribution war yiro by the narrative war there in lo mo yene provider of everything bagir
Yeah.
chan
Engineer, elda cham ba kana tao ko ba jo be Malaysia. So yeah, engineer chol ka tawakin, eh? So kaya yin ting do empower, you know, nang ran you went kalas. So kaya yin ting do kaya yin empower, ache non a lu ka empower chan big ya successors kwa well big work overthrow in the nearest future. Ache ne kaya empower. Adaka yet one of with Malaysia if I'm being harsh at some point. So kaya yin ting do kaya yin empower, you know, betting do benang ka ngi anang a lot of things. Tung tueng chill mit ku achan we beto to ka wa lui mit ku race. Ting du nan ka win to yenom em mit kwa ye ka ngi guide ku yo ke this and this lo ka kana la sukula ye lo ya la ini ya example nong mit ku. Chating anang ran chi jam anang ran chi ate kol gar a kwani ye chol ngo ye chol hot in Juba nang ate kol chi rang gore ni wan tu alwela yen apiat beran bil chulu work hard because nin ko bu ben mia na yetik ku jama men dul wel men dia durot cha kadang ako bangi lu ya pet a chan bi tia ka pet kalwele ichi liat na mama de na liat na bere yo ka men dia ko ba ya kwena pet ku tukula atawala kalwele cha lo tukuli ya ke ichi ran gor some ngadi some years to come so ka ya ko ba lwele ten ki yin ting du ki yin empowered one a be a good example nang mit ko nang a device game ka device kana ye back up by evidence because mit I die ka when you think so it to kana row you know life happens londu ile beriat anything ile biyandi and that's why na to ting du chairman when chana na well you guys are partners then ili benanka when Louis take over from there so I ke primary kada el elda ba joben
na podare thank you engineer kuri jwaj ne kacha ke glwel na duku ku bukanting ne definition ne ke chwa helper beti tia ke ka tia ke du kundu moj yongole point nong moj yongole point in a changing society kuan tere yuku way that tik eya du kundu moja kaka yen ga nyir ko pioj ay pioj bi atat ay pioj bi nyina tita pa ka bai ay pioj bi akri be ya akwai craftsmanship ay ya pioj ala dika yirur ken ga chieng aka yi ka chwich ni ke chola lando arana le ba landi moja chieng ni yego ale bi chwich ku chwiyo ko oguti buga tinga jiban tite to kan ke di bana ka ke be ken aka yi ka maintain in a way chukulu budete na ye tichina la chwike ke ka yu ka gwer byong lai ya biyo kaka kulu ka design abuka rom no gwet birur ken ka ya chieng ku bi ka ya chieng ke ka chin na war boko na madina ke to the piror war ko cha nang makana da chin ting ber ba nyi man ku chul ke dalet ko cha chinanga ko chinanga dire ne ke cham chin ting ber ba nyi man bera do ber ba ka ber ba jer bi nyol ber koy tar koy ku bi ya jar no mwinde ka ka ku chan men ka pande ben ke en muk Na buku in a changing society. Women empowerment yung well. Women empowerment e bloat e to nong rori benyai. Ingati ane deditin. Anaye mojene the only provider by kiti kabito ya dake mo kwan benangke ya mat na kangi. Bechia toke recipient. Betoke ranong ke dia na kangi. Lekin ke wui ka yu kaga loy kwane waka lui ache ke ye determining factor ye lue nana dake ngayen ke hit of the family. If you can add the karba dispute nana daga achene original purpose of family headship. Ache wui ka yu but authority the gamen yalej. We moch be ayene nom ditik. Now na chitik empowered when get the problem to thinman theogan. Getting ki empowered ero way ki berba ya matawa de mo inden kene. When ka insecurity the rule, let me be open. Ki dia roriaj a woman with money. Ting nong wo ero ba way ki accountable to nong winde to chene a changre de ne ye mo war chinen wo to chena benyal chala kere chilwela pedwen. Nana dek maybe era ane non ki gum ken yen ku chan chin wo yen ka era loy ki alwang do mo era loy ki is submissive, but you cannot find a woman bro really is submissive ki yen non wo ju chu a problem man theo ken ali ke diar ka kale bito cha alwalo ka liu, but I very few in the society when ke di in a term man theo chin bay ko chin ka ngene ka lai well in a modern world. Soft copy de monyeto inom ku soft copy tingeto inom bo lui ke print ka che ke ba bento bai then ka wo joronal. So family headship ache determine ni income. Na chaku diar chaku empowered ka lui ke empowered to shoulder some responsibilities in the house because ache free from responsibility. Bungor ke kwai ngor wane ke to ku wa cham na to but ache ke hit. Na boka tin ne twalwen Netwali jam nana dekien biag the leadership level Louis thrive under the leadership, shared leadership, or does stability require one final decision maker? Family consultative yen ka yen ngor. Consultative kind of leadership yen ka yen ngor. Family ache ngor. Authoritarianism yin nyuch kwe yin create ban declare be a decree by my decree by a mind consultation because been into consensus but in ke ko ja guide in kanong nyin ye jongo to twing ke point do we explain bin ka convene a guten ci bi bantin ti enen right but do ka lui dictate baka gwai ne an jam to bor kwen ke bo ke wane jur ne jeng bangda so baka war ka baka nak na point do biudu katina waitin kire de loyalty na kene yen apiat ba koy convene aguti bi dedi kene kay kuluya green ranban ku jali implementation de jel beben benga nang long beloy anang long le bi me loy bai nang le long le bi tik loy bai ko nang long le bi moy loy bai a family leadership e ke cho ngor ba koy ngar nim ne kloy jini kanyi direction lo koy di wen ke kirot kor a shared leadership yen ke korot yen kang yen karom but a shared headship ngor ayeni cham to but I be alula ngana nom de bay bang ku ngana nom de bay benang some kind of percentages bika gamrut benang percentage headship gamiti ku percentage headship yen gamamo ka ka wa so ngor a consultative to nongwe be mi ke ku tingde bika bayde to ku rom yo ngoy point yen kor beni jamtin yo ngoy ko kor beloy na chide de jikene ke ka piolich be bay be lotwen with the guidance the monyene head of the family. So en ke Carol, thank you.
Ayen in ci kida ja ngade wana ja teme tong mot ko ka ja ngore che convince about the family whereby man tik diar manong dia nyikan ka wero atoka so nai pan un doti ke ni kangaret le bi ay ne ke pet go ta ke na de le ba ele tuen ko lo ko mun de to ke ran to mun ran to ke rigid re ta ci le bi ke da ci le bi do ja ping were kana jel ti gila te ko le ko jel un ba ele chol bi jare le ke de ke were ti ke ka le loy ka le kwa le lo le lo were ti ke ne in that scenario whereby ti ke ni kangaret mo ye mo war ke ci war
Obviously, ror ke kai wiser than men. I
biar
mean, diar ke kai wiser than men. Yile ba nyan tino run ke tier ku bet. Ale ba yu ku na nyu ba go gwen yene nye yine go. Kenom de ala alotin ki meng no makanyi kito inom. Ku ka go ken yin chi ku we met. Diar ke kai non ka ju nyi ke no ror. Akanai biak de pel nom ke diar apel ni makawaror. Lekini jalwa ya denom kene. Yene ke core unity bai. Anong ko rir community libin karan yo krir ko. Ale ke lwa chak lo kule jale pande ka lwa chak lo ba yumya. Na ler pande ale kala wi yuti. Kale ti lo lu konvini ke chalo ke na chene support be at lo anything. Ber ba juen mo guti bete yene wo cha guti bula o yala. E ka ber du non ko war chi ka ter ku lo le werga. Ara e ku ware a chalwel non we ken we ka non yi. Kedua cha bala tak yene yi cha gam. Ile yono ibiu ken biu ene gam nong nom de chela tawo nom chen nom war jel ka ko teren ko e anong du kuin bai du kuin de yelo a device ti ka ya device ad moj bai ananong ke kor bi moy loy ku ye mon che ping wel ke tik ke mon ken ade ke nong ke da ku ka ku ke ti ken te ti akin ti ka ite ake a device at nong in akana nong ke kor bai loy ku ke kin piori o ki di loy to on chiet nong en abi kwanya bana ideas wer ka ka to ino munter ku lo implement achie na iti wise kumoja achie wise ken benefit la ben gen head of the family itin gina da kiche yene achie yene define chip achie wisdom yene lwel ku lara non wisdom yene kabia head of the family ko nyu pin ku loites betting that ye ngai more qualify ne bia the key to understanding of the family leadership kutin gene ne ka be chan be ngai head of the family because me to ken ngai ke ka ju achi to ne ya tik edu kuinde moj aye koine kaju cha guten chi wil beke rom kan yen alebo koinum aguti bula ben ke rande mu tik alebo moinde alebo chep moinde to kono ngai chiek wach kule tik ale yong e wer chirar war chen tik ye ngai trainer de bai lebe ating tung kene ka luye trainer guti bula ben ke rane wise in the community so kedi da rere ten kom biak leadership a family tangor the leadership achieve competition e kam dirur kene dia but a collaborative kind of work yen ngaben kene biuto kene yen kurom ne te bene bai ben yen chang tin ku te bela twengtin kenen ke te ke ja red so na yiti ge wise ke ka lui wisdom kena lui use ben mo in the benen shape aguti binang a desired purpose of the family keten kenen ke ko korot ared anon koy ko kepio kana den le barat kwentin kuna nong num tik tingi dom ku kindi re ni yen ale bi dom ku je nyu le no di lo ya loy ne del chala la ku loy wala kuna pinge na le kila ben gine ran pen the community now you ku no ken ken e ye ting tung ken ting tung yilwele yen to ken yin mai ken bai ba tik bangor ka ba bai bangor bi ayine nom de tik ache yini choice ache tik choice imperial kulor kini superior no a kind of authority cho ordained non much lekin idea adekle bi moy la implement ala le uben non ti ale uben non me kule ka juere alo rat cha kumi juere akana ke le implement ala le bela implement ki idea body non ti e body non mo jen ka yen leadership de bai yena consultative anji ber
ay yana be ay yana ina nyar ayo la incha ko la chala jor pin ko la joro gam ne be to comment section dila ben nyal mane ya nina kola ya nyara le yini ti cha kangi bai ke yire ni nu na kang yi tao pin nu cho ni ku yi te pin ba mo ndwa convince le kene yene loyula loyula ke ya nyara le
Ah, cho chu point de pin. Beti bekangi achien ana degi chien lere society. Alle betuñ the community la mu kala la ben ke ne bende diar na community. Okay? Alle benang de piada le lo in community tinkene le la mute in the society. No. The tinkene achi mute by which mute in the society. Bana loka jami ba ye pananga. Le bloka pana kwal pilip ka pan un mit ka kwal pilip. Yang ke twal ken kene. E yang anong numbai. Yang ay dungor. Yang ay num de bai. E kene ke twal ko ke kilu ku debate. Lekin tikale benang more contribution by wermuch. The ideas to kan yen ku kache hit chip de moja chi war. That was my view. Na later community kene wisdom nongen ka wer. Kikin gina chi yen restrict below la kachin ka piale lwe community. No. Level a ben ke mentor nong di artiko. Level a ben ke mentor nong mit. Level a ben ke mentor nong rule kok based on qualities ke kanyi ke. Kana chi mikela. Bara cheni cho hit chi pa chi hit beke pa chi hit pandu. Inka krelwel. Wisdom token yen ayen ke yu kwany ngor de bai kwa chene lon mo num twing ya yen du ngor mo. Thank you.
ayen chango ting ke kar ba kon jal te yini kene before ban anda jal bala fi jal ko ba ko ban ina ko mi kon ngi do kar ba te yin headship man does it apply to only your household ki kam no ting du ku jala mi kon kai how community sees the pan nga jama lo ni ba ngi community lo la pan nga yenga ngar ye lo ni community ba pan ngin man pan wi na nyar kai lo ni chem we pan do na kar ba kon de kene because na lar ku
Uh,
tiengen alar ku tiengen okay incha ba pe jal go lum na changen lum ku swala chino lum pe
yes. Let me talk on the Dinka perspective. To Corbin Thick by Kini Tik, Kini Moj. Kini can you pin ku pan to design and babet in Bia Kwan Bia do Kundu Iran in a projects. I design ke projects. Nana dek ke car baloy pandye to be pandye to thin a car be yella. Kuran kar betotin buen kwan eting nongala yen ka gina ti mane montiak ban ku ka chikwet nong los boys mane rane rer chi social media ka jalbe pe ai kwan war barane rer war kito no duluma ku bi bele chi ku kor ben tik nana de ko kwan kor pandi establish kor ba job banam nang bai banam nang du kun ka jab kurno mi nyal chi bela yot bai to ya nyane ngayen ka riu nganong ka nganong nyikang e nyan nong riu e nyan chieng pan den e nyan kene ka bi gene ting du mane ke ka la ben kene ting piadu e ka jal mam ni to ben ka kuoni to ben ka jal po chi tin rani bai gol ten ke kar ba drive ten e point idea de bu family be establish ye nga ye gol ye nya ene lo ku do mo ku le bar bu bai la gol ke ye mo jene lo ku kor nya nyan be ke bai be gol ni muksul koran kini ni ala bayna project de yen ke muksul kwen ke de ta en tin te nong monjang kwe ka koi ping wong ne tong jam wo kene headship of the family te na kai kwen ke nganong ting den je bay ran kana nong right buluan ji be creating kwan kor ho cha du ke chen with no reason kure ke ka pele yen lekin alwel ti gan pel moy ke ka kone explain ke di ta wai huh
ayen
yen ga yen ga ti chen ro yer tin kene et non
ayen
society kene ka je an bo et non society kene but rane go lene ne originator of the family elwele de now when bung Ephesians chapter 5 and your Bible verse 23 for the husband is the head of the wife as Christ is the head of the church and is the savior of the body. So be much beyond the tick e muksuolia yen ke lweli yen a responsibility. Nati twala kunang ye dungor nger ko di. Yes, ke chai jani e life. acha chalun gulu la kam relationship de kam di ti kana mo ja chir kam di conductor kana driver de riai conductor e muksulu ko to riai well being de ko to riai elonde kube driver be jal dik son muk kinyi to leren tin achen pan chin direction de pan de chen direction de pan de chol direction de pan kure chen direction de pan na kol a waj ngen ko kor vision ko kor ba achieve in life be pande be apa ninde eken kene ke defined by individual family a chekra daga le bi family forum dan kene le benansa de correct le begam ne yen we every family anong to lerentin a gutti mi mike tin tena to che passenger ta na chinya bene tang bene tiak ke kamang riai ne ka yu conductor gan tiak ala pin ke tua ka cho riai kai ku jor pin blot de ne lerentin bu we pande na ber moy la ben ka iran ti ba etene rian kene ke ran kor be ti ke ka berad we aguti bla donga le ke yi driver kene twa kriya le do bi jal be mai because direction te le ka tina chi tu ngai chi te pande ku ngai chi te pande a chi ka res a chi ka yen ka res korot a chi ka yen education korot non ke morally sexually ku jola bia de te be keron mo tina ka chi a chi ka yen skill korot chan bi be can establish. Let me put it in that generic point ke koy dir ka jala ben ke like a consultant a jarir ba chi consultant be ke jala la le yug ba ne be ke ni that nga ya ben bo ko bere ke name ku ber ko bu go ke ber ke guidance ber ke bagam yen ke de te ne ke ne just a simple answer le bagam ne biag de ke chol destination at lerti life pe jani be mi be ka dit ka be ka biol ko benang a principle ke pan kene ko direction to lerti ko purpose lu yen establish. Thank you.
Ayen ayen pet ayo diar mane ayo ke ga che dil ni na pet chan ke kor ke lo ne bene ke no to fin ay ni chen bu to fin ke yen to we diar ke cha yo ke ya nyare lel ke ya gwang ro to ne cha yal yo cha man kin ne bi ke ya nyare lel nga bai gol nga bai chum ya ti ke bai la chum ini mo la kor ga ya mo jene ti ya la kor jel pande ngade so khi anh nhar có lul ten kin wo ti ang wo gam nyu kan ka kuju kan long responsibility ko turu ke ko wo kai head of the family so en ga ya nyar e lul kan so na kar ka ba narrative ba jal ke bu ko chi ke e bu ko e bu ngadi e bi rur bi che ngadi ba bai ba na char nyar wo gal pandun ai wa ka jala tinga le ye nga che muk so le ba do ma ret nga je ngadi any person le bi jal ngadi ten ku no
Sorry
wo
to interrupt. If the bride price goes to the bride, I will accept what you just said. But if it goes to a different man, that is a system between men. I am just victim in it. I cannot accept it. Gambu or gamkatik. Now I will know you gave up your wealth, you can be head. Don't give to
yes,
another man.
again, one malgam, so it's something from the divine, work it from the creation, a tradition whereby Tigan Gamola Koru Gamalde, Yikan Kachi Bay.
Gemalda gemoinda. A Kenyan tick. This woman never benefited from this
You need
system.
a killer order.
No.
Alakiri ina chitul from the blue. Ina muk. Kwa ka muka ine compensation din. Iya
Why
ka
is
yari
the
na
man
gam
being
babano.
compensated? My mom
E
was
Bakar.
pregnant 9 months.
ana
She's
chimu, a
not getting the
chilere
bride
kadang
price.
a chilere sukuli. Chamba
So
katin velu.
you know call
Ah,
Jalo talk there. You know call him Jalban about Jalting and Yar, Jika Dajing and it will go up provision, can by long key much by a chin, much by a white can headship. In a buying a day. Headship a golden, much ben with Jayla or a good theater with Jeronia Corbuch and one ye load. I love about gam with it and will a gam cock one a chiot. Then I am Muxuli yin when I chakang by ni ka ijala ken mon pandi lo ku ken la ku pyang ro ni yen ku jela bia la jela la nga en mu sul pande ilo udi no kwal
Akar,
Ka
but
kwal kin
about
gwa bena
dismantle. Mm-hmm.
ka kwal kin gwa bena na kar ba chok pinyi ten
Okay,
ki
did
a
you
kwal ba
go?
chok
Because
pinyi
I
tin
love Ben, I like
e
Abraj.
En ale ben ke dowry yen determination of the headship. Yen determining factor. Kuru kin gi che ke ti ka don't deserve to be head of the families. So the kiti nyai ku dowry
Yeah.
thing, but you ka ke office cho in only for men.
Anyari jalwele position actually Louis question. It will be understandable because I can point at thing to win that I can point at thing associated with the headship. Not only that, it is a bay actually that's the only thing that I think then the explanation will quite convince. It cannot be questioned. Because na lwa ka che dawari ku lwa dawari ji nye na lwa ka ne ya ke provider ka lwa no then ka be yangu. That's my question.
ina nyar headship ari ko ni headship do na jel chwir tani da yemo ja hit de ja na yiro ne ke yen ke mo mo ga ba chom en ga en tik die di ena die ya ja lang mari la ko bay dawari chan ke en mo in che tik die ba die kulong tung de ko e jira ni lo ke nya ke ma jira ni nya chwe ja jor ngade tum ga mung tung ke de ko jal dia ku ren de ne jal la ka kin nya ke ran nya jal chwe jor ma la china jin tung do liu apin ran ni la nya ran nya pe ja bay china jin o ga bi chi to wa je tum gam en ga jalo ga china jin to ke to long o un ter ke ne so nyan jal tum tai chin wunde ni jal go ba ung tum jal go ba lu ma liu so atoka ka so na chi associated kene dowry kwa chalwel ni ala tigen gen mo jen ke tigen ge die bi jal ba ku jel ba bi chum ki ngo ya hit chim man ten ye di ene di ba bi chum gan yene cho hit kulang nyir ko ya bena mer bi ku chol ru ni chol ke kampala ni ko ler ke ngadi be ke chol mu
Hey, and Father, thank you. When in a goal work explanation, I believe an each point in a corridor chalwell. Kire chalwe when a chalwella. Yang I lui by initiate ran a goal lane. By be chak. Na kin ku konyi yang I lui in a bananke cho a family. Kikarichan would debate ku jila order of the family chilula betode. Family en alien kalo en yen. Kutik e bi ke helipad moch ke dukuin de moch. HB kene nom de moch mojene ke bi ke nom de tik. Kujelti geto ke dukuin de moch. That is it. A divine perspective of a family. Na chong nang ideas ko kijaba lo bentin. Na biag de tiyeni waiting capability de diar. Yaman tiyo chiro loy ke korbanang a competition ne kam de rur kene diar. Yeni lum chikra de ke moch. Kile bitig loy, kile bi moy loy le bitig loy ada. Kitchen mikela. Tika leader, yes, leadership kana kira. But the chene kerutia kakato in the family. Yang I hit chicho the divine order of a family. Kenen kerite my position tinun kegalwala. Despite the qualities to yen, despite his income, his status, kumo chedi akenengo, head of the family. No matter what, ken kela koi ken head of the family chicho divine order. So yung yen na lechetawe ya. Yen ke chukulu question na ijol ma yola lwela chilibu question. Why yen na lechelwela mo yen ke head of the family. Ekin gina chukulu buti na lweko yung yen mo itaw ken head of the family. En na gol ku families ken yalik. Niyaman tiyo ken ka deka nong in that idea iya corner na deka mo yen ka beyango. Alebe toke subordinate te nong tik kulotik le ban kene sup yene head of the family in family ranking so te nene ke gato na nong institution kog le bene diar ka ngor tika lebe malada mach lebe CEO lebe nang da loy ache en choy nom de muinde bai lebe a leader in the society but ache en choy nom de muinde bai. That is the point. Thank you.
You know, none of your tito, come on, your general, but a yard and run, and you're moving what you're in on the buy. And yet, in Kajara Nap, so we can. Because, but you know, tito, you know, where, how do you feel? You, that what you're like away on the buy? Who, why are you threatened when we take beyond the buy? Like we come and create our own natural order. Could be running the buy. Anyway, I'm starting from there because yeah, but nyara kala taught and the divine, and you know, divine is we have to believe through faith, not that we can see. That makes the conversation very, very tricky because at that point, you know, you're the knowledge and knowledge, so I took a competition and then maybe you tower anything here or with the advent is scared or material in the row in court. Anyway, thank you. Chắc do number but you can be ekra. And then in Israel, you got ekra nyar actually nyar cha do num. Like if you have seen all of the conversation here, you look at TikTok because all of us are questioning this order. And tomorrow is the National Women Day, and we champion women empowerment. Even in Anyar, we champion women empowerment. But now you are putting the cap that based on kitchen I have to follow God divine instruction. You can be as empowered as who, but you can still be according and doing under me. Even if Queen Kiricha in power, Kayin by the virtue that in China sign by how much, or that take this conversation away that Nomdaba or family headship is about responsibility, about accountability, about provision. Now you take it to be a divine assignment based on gender, right? That you have to be more to be head. And you give some earthly reason that make me actually came here. Kuchakate could be always sock. A child would use suit anyway or good clothes, but clothes are getting be always sock. Ku like don't know, jam get yen yakala life, lelo wala yin mo pele. Damn all this to you. But how did we even get there? Bigger rural arkang. It's because of the mindset that Rura assume that because I think like a divine leadership over women, now our society and tradition, when very oppressive, take that and make women subservient to men. And I look very community there and Dinka in particular, where we take a lot of references. Kadiara cheke ping to jamediar. Even you what in Rory Miol and Miara. They would chat partial that look as if you could jamediar. Very yet when the president. Kachi jamdua chipping by virtue that you take. So now that become really problematic because being much, even if you want to have partial, you still feel head. You still feel the need to be respected by the virtue of your gender. That also defeats the purpose of women empowerment, right? Because if you are empowered to some level, that is oppressive, right? And one question when I was thinking about this topic, a question when do we need this divine assignment? I don't know, man, to be honest. I love that question. I don't know. I know in our Dinka culture, the fact that much pay, in their family stuff, it makes sense that, Baba, because get got conversation from the very beginning until to the end. Abanya la teach, abangu, nya raised in a way that abijal pan wound, get kulena wounded. So what why the program and when I was dating, Kubama no kaya kon teach, which I can share with some of people I mentor that when I come to you, can think what is your vision in life? That's what I usually ask people to write me 500 words to tell me where are they going, their vision of their family. And then I come and compare with that vision with mine. Because I get but I need to do in Carvala period. Now, the vision they jam well, I will compare. Does it align with my vision? And then I was okay, let's talk from there. If this is where you want to grow in life, this is where I want to go. that is because I'm raised that Moji Kabianom the Bai, he has to have a vision and all those things, tradition. Now I have to live, I have my vision, but because I'm the Bai, I have to align my vision with vision. Chimoj Bai Nongen. What if other women now who are brave enough, who have the vision, that is your vision of what man you want. And then you go by force, say the Bamoy Balatut, because they are right now, they have surur. If when you're very, very tricky, you can buy him. You go iPhone, you sponsor, and then buy so that become your vision to be and implement. Just like now, so now there is a U-turn happening in our mind that women can take on this headship role. Anybody sponsored using money to get what they want. But is that the conversation we need? Is that now the level of empowerment that we need? Or can we even have dialogue and say, we don't need this? Get your leadership, a determination of culture, how partnership. Said that now I can eat a kula, well, would get bandit and bend want to do kuya, there's no way they can call when they do kun, but what only can call it do kun. What if I have my vision and I want to channel to help me achieve my vision? Or what do we agree on with a vision, back vision here? And we look at it and say, actually, my vision, and I can get it. And I, if my vision can be for me, can look in here. Okay, so I have asked a lot of questions. Maybe because we're here in chance, but what I see is really we don't have to hide leadership. I know for sure there are families where are calling vision ke diar ken, and that's their family arrangement, or they are calling vision ke rur ken. But could you now society level we don't want to accept that. We say much and these man in our Dinka community man much yen empowered with more resources than man yakula man ya so I say empower that much. A lot of people empower and I see more empower now at all real Monday every Monday na let them yile ta sukul ja go vision dia ba ben by implement. So you can be no matter outside the box because now to channel what moji. But is that good? Is that way you want to raise your daughter in a nyara? I want my daughter to raise like you have your own vision and you need to find someone that align with and how you make your arrangement. Can you hear? I bet you determine a leader. But who are behind the scene to be bad so that we say can I do fair game? Like why are we shy? Why are we feeling threatened that it has to be much? Okay, what if now they are all transgender? In the barrel work, get but I could do listen in it. Can you like I had now or can I had man? Or when you work, give a bent to later, marry diary. Baby, or with the I get a moito in itself. Maybe look at that outside, but inside divine assignment, the reality that she was there are a lot of changes. So what do we really mean by who is head? To me, I feel like we don't need this conversation. We need that God has given us divine time and all of us, regardless of gender, to be head in our families. So I believe that we're co-head. And that is my belief. What do you think? Take it back.
Engineer queer conben before nyar ngade kuina nyar okay conben in ku bayan ku ba jalang lang tin karo mar.
Yeah, shukran. Yen jam kana chalwel wen avera na ya kwe inte den kwe na tin kutwira ling ku bi nyal tawali. So yeah, kelwela kin akwal wel kun chakalwela ayit ko at some point achake la gam kaka di ayit at some point. So yeah, kechalwel wen of which in chilu agree when again tandu yin when thing do chal well when ache support baga ya lu compete we partners, okay? Now yaga partners, you guys are building a future ke bi mit kun bi ke ya li kwani chatting. So wrong balo adil kulela na ba du kun dia wala something of that kind yaka lu ache long kan ache long. So ketau acha well when ke chol banang real ta achen ye determine achan baya het achal wel wena leyo achal wel chama na net worth the an kwer na ye 20 billion dollars ku net worth du yina net worth girlfriend ya wala ting dia in the future chanan ken tie kaman ku ye 19 e ke ga na ka lu yilit na yen mentality dun kor we ga tin na chi ting dia chi an ba bag no ma chi nang 21 billion ka be lu yilit e kam be lu thrive ka be yene tan be lu absolutely no. Achenete ya luoyen. Na achene alichi yin bless resources. So okay ne achene ye kadang. Head basically era and went okay representative according to dictionary DNA. So era and when be family dun be represent whether and when lui lineage a lui carry. Okay? Yene ka yene determine ka be ya head. So na ye head technically kami da bika ya jolly ku yene tan le bai kana mi da che ke chol diar so one part of being a head technically a be yin ya chol mit wala a yin ya representative of that kadan of that clan that lineage well anything related to that so ku ke divine a divine ordination so na era antika ka ger e ka
Does
lot
it
to
mean
no
very joy before being into that is patriarchy? Like in patriarchal societies, if headship it
society
mean
that's why
lineage carry, then what about
mm.
matriarchal societies, right? So again get head in matriarchal societies and our traditional African societies before colonialism, they were matriarch. So that means they were once upon a time head because they carry lineage. Anyway, continue.
akan akan kon yo kana anyways yeah I'm bela when sources key so yeah why patriarchal society of which by virtue you work that society so ke rura ya ka che default head of the families ka wen chal wela kin you know anan ki chi ko liya beten head kujala baya leader ti kin li biya leader ka ka yan lo ke ko ke lo ke bai ten chin ka penen but representative of that family chairman representative a family pa na kwere judge in the future e kwere jwanya kwere tu jati so yeah ku kiti ya chen ya determine a chan cheating to be in power chal well when we partners okay a chen ya determine batting to jo operas ku cheating to chi pi so in summary wo kia wo ya head anang a lot of component one of them e yen ke yen rin na ye ka chol yin ku ka ye ka back up by a lot of example chi elda ka bay so ke na ta waya na ye be rin be ka ger ku be ko ja other society then kene ka be wo ka kedan and question dien ba jongot ka jola tie ke why yung ye ke ya sensitive why are you so kedan yung ye we ka kor ba ka ya het so question kene support be ben yung yen we chwer piot bil wel he mo yung ye we ka mana chan ba ka ping mo je e yen head of the family ye we loyalty eh
So I will jump in. Sorry, my camera will be off. So I think it's in Rurajia head. Um, you know, a lot of things happen. Personally, I don't relate to men being head of family. I was raised in a family of all women. They're one providing, they're the one making decision, they're the one teaching me what to do. All the boys Kato in the family were young. They don't have authority to tell anyone what to do, right? So women are empowered to take care of the family in case men fail in their responsibility of providing and protecting, which it has happened. Some intentionally by squandering their family resources, others by losing their lives unfortunately in the war. And those families been led by women and they're doing just fine. When we talk about empowerment, we're not trying to say Ruhr have been leading for a long time and society still have problems. So Berke Diar Chala, Bikola head of family. No. Then you would feel threatened when we could overthrow from your position which personally I think is the right thing to do. Chijal we fail to win. But empowerment man equality actually much. The responsibility of thinking you can do it all is too much. And it's not just hurting much, it's also hurting women and children. Na chimochi ya chineng group ya depressed, start drinking, not having enough income, losing their status in the society, chebela pinto kamati, we all suffer, right? Now, they are empowered and they're also contributing financially. It will lighten that burden of being the one always providing, always being asked the question to answer. Chitik empower la sukule. She has decision making capacity. And then problem ko ka wen ye ka go lew ni manong mi ta kri che bena che unity bilateral loy kula ben by ku ngot ka ti. So well-being much is good, which means well-being a community is good. So can we quite threaten? I really don't understand it. I feel like it's okay to share and engage your partner. Nowadays, we don't say my husband is my leader. My husband is my partner. We partner in decision making. We partners in making the money, and we partners in in different ways. Just having different biological function doesn't equate to having better skill at leadership or leading family or or cleaning the house. So that's why we say providing in the traditional context, it's just not recognized. You clean the house, you take care of the child, you birth the child, which I think is the biggest provision, much bigger than providing money and cows, by the way. So in sharing these responsibilities, ku chimwach can always provide financially, ka other provisions are be the primary parent, right? Ye yin mi di ka mu mi adur pachka wakanyin make them adida. Na chitik chigwala bu bakala loy. So however you share it is up to you. We Koilu women in power cannot tell them you can be a leader, and then when it comes to family, you cannot be a leader. Then how can she empower her own kids become leaders out there? So yenegi jam wotin, and I don't think religion na chitik Lord, I want to be equal in decision making and I will also bring money. It should be okay, right? And I think it works in favor of rule. It's just rule need to be very honest and share how heavy it is of a burden to be the only head and sole leader and sole provider and sole protector, because family family do you talk, it's all the extended families, and that's too much for one person to manage. Ayen nale bene kini ne kacha in kwer. Personally I thought because your mom already known ran been this people can see it could you admit amen that as for the father of the child, only the woman knows. So naming, I feel like give legitimacy to men in the family that a man there. So rinka kina chitao ke rinka wun. I don't think it was because Emochen head of the family. If it is, then a new learning for me today. I think it's because legitimacy. One chin work DNA test. Rin ake no carry forward. And you call it.
In banyanyar in bijal ber ayo in jitiong ku kiyan discussion yana raised, ekar bu ngade headship bu jal understand really long to bero gertin ga ide tanta den to kor bu ngade ko bu tol jaga dil ngade ne tol jaga dil bay tol jaga dil bay tol ben wogala ala wabro jala yal loku de tok kuruping ka ken kuruping ku ngene bay. So ka kor bro jalo assuming mana de kin ke choy title bu jalo head of the family aliu now well mana de an assumption be choli totally ku ba cheng ji cheng yene kor ba le wo ba be am more confused ka be am more stable like of today man tan men dunu berber chilon ter to in na kar ber lon to wo men de because lon yen be cheng ter lon cheng ke mana dir wo. So a lul ku yen man de ke chol hitship aliu ke baby am more stable ka be am confused.
Thank you. Yentung pet we koi the soft copy we diak. in in chol mai ku je la ku ri jwa kwa la ke we ko ke soft copy family kaka ku je la ko ko to pin ke non soft copy of a family. Soft copy is the most beautiful part of a family. Chatting, ting yi design tini to inum, kumo ini design tin ten, kupane ni ambition. Ay bay piat akachin gutung kana cake. Ti jala woyale, ebi jala ban ke hard copy. Aguchu bi jala ban. Ba jal nyuj bay. Itin kene ne keti yen waitin. Kukariri bu theory of change would discuss top from two worlds. A wall of hard copy and a walls of soft copy. Kena rire ni bu theory of change but ben to kala gudan ci buru pingtin nana da ka broad warle ko chirot bu war to al kana bu wana le ke dan bu di ber wadia ke ban ber ke no ngi chaw kwal be ni alun ku ken gane rire ci ma nana da ke nanga war moyrot ki ci boke tik na war ti rot bi amo ci da ki ci boke hit of the family e ka kui achi original purpose ichiaga kega chike bay ana wera de kul kanitik kika nong rini ni ka chola daga che an che chol kanimuch okay no rina daga chol ken adan che chola nitik no rina daga chol ken kwa daga chibo chiti kora rotin ke kor buting gol empowerment en yukuloy arantung koi da jam women empowerment and I advocate for it openly to non-Kojiban, Biak girl child education, Arantung Koya promoter. But why are not promote? Ya promote in which context? Your context of leadership, kaya context of empowerment, ben ran, ben pide la chopping. Kai chuka pure goal businesses kwan chuka initiated. Education to kind of work. I be the Nikala Mai. I be the Nikala Mai bunga raid ben nokala. But Yenika jal be chwetin kene, Yenika nong longe. Kuti yen jal bela Martine, yen ke family. Ku family anong de pay head of the country in the by a first lady. In the by a president kuto your husband ke first man. So yin ke superior to len ben na country leadership. Pana la ko ben family leadership pale ka warat. Kemo jika la ben kene nga yen ke nom de bay yin ke head of the state but the head of your family. Wanya dunyo. Ikena che ke kor society che patriarchal society ene lwe initiated. Eke bot nong nyali yang kalu le nana de mo yen kenom denga yen kenom de tip. Kato deep ana lor ke kai yo anala one of the thing to gamon na ipa le bung de stimosi nana de won yen yikran etigen kadum. Achia mo and more of alle wa bene to alle jam to len hitchip len nyai no rurchin kutake ke palpin ge matiai but families are more confused kabijala is stable honestly I can stability to thin it kuwet kana nyar balwel kunairan kor beto bid eklim kene ketem beto I can stability to thin to where yen be adiar ke la ben ke hit of the families ku jaror jaga ba to ke ber ke ba pat be diar ba ngen chen bi society bi ngarno chatting it if the family ache ke en ko yong and I disagree kan ror yela lom autocratically ba ko ja yu ba cha daw che yen they shared responsibility yen tingu to ke yo ko waka awelu itu gwen yen yen ka yen adu kunju no ngin edu kunju in decision making edu kunju in family provisions akin ki chien tio kan unity na ka yak loy to e ka yak shared that is the view I hold and it is biblical kwen ka original view de ne be ka ko ka bi cha to ka riurut ka nyarut ku ka lu kan aram kan to wan ku view yen ko ju yen ke la lom ke te ben ke diar be ke suppress nyan de ne kol ke no ku pyoj ke ka pyoj berial kwa pyoj values ben ke la cheng pande analer no muinde ke la de benang riu ben muinde riu chi muinde beto ke ku war muinde anongal chana nongalam ku bra lo ke ne superior na muinde no chi beto ke ne superior de muinde because anong resources chana chukur kang no eka keban akarom ke lekini it chipato pe ana bobai ngor yang ngai rani num de bai ke num de bai emoy kan non ka chi ko ri yu ke rie chene ti ke ja like myself and a Louis raised by a single mother. My father was killed in 1991 when I was 5 year old boy. And yes, all of my life, always can mom a good man can ata. Now, le bayen lum nana deka pa nene ngorti. Achin mikila kan pa ne ngor achin mikila ngorti ngor ma achin mikila lebe yagun ran chungor. Du good can a liberal idea. Le ben in leadership divine ordination the ngor. Le ben yen palping kiki lo call the Canada now more problem than solution le bay. Actually leadership they are low undermine. They are anong a very anong wisdom. They are kokairur chopping. They are anong skill. They are anong resources. Leben I productive akale ben ran pa and chopping ne kaka loike. But actually naturally can any hit of the family. Ella banke distorted view of headship can gana. Now no question you teaching your kwaji yet in a tradition yen family yen en yik wet in a nang limitation setting traditionally anong kapia de kato konong karaiken tradition ki choy bu koy dai po eliu family e chi aware tradition e ba e lum in a way na chiran ti ki mat ki choy ti e ti again ki nyon yen yine rio yiran ji ti ki yene wolom no kwando ne e lo ke kwane diar nyol ananong ran duon berlo kayene ayene society e dier we ke we kwat we repetition duona yak gil dadi kana bu ko la lwel na yenga ye tingde nok yenga ye tingde chanyola bu tingde guriak abe angen ke ting chi chwat ne diari ke ken kana bela lom ke kwan che mu ke diar e traditional view kana nang de tik e kwal ana yuran jiting de no ke lung kana e loy lwa kwa cheni mi bai tin ku chukran jam narur kuleng tigle du pa ne ga ine ping lwa ka chi lwa lwe ki kor society ki tradition e ko gomi family problem ba ya ke ga gomi ja ga chi ben na dolwen ben ke bai wer nyal ke che kor be tik be pol akaya kwat chu ni pi na cho nang chiranden wo ku le tik wo pal ke u de chu ni pi man lwa ke ting dan chu ku pal kalau bo koy kala ni kulwa ko jam ga men don kra na le jam chan bro war e chin baila ni te to baila ne to ro loy ke ko kwal ko che part of tradition a part of personality ken deran yen ke ti ro loy te nan je to ne ke kiengi karo tradition acha dir e ka ke lo ya de anya ku jola te woman thio kene na ya quality india waje ke wan yen man ku waje ba ke wan yen mi adere wo cholo te kalas kachin ke pinen chan blo bi kule lan ci po wana mon kana cha be kor e na ci pele na rurat kale ko to le gam kula kalas na e brono ku waje kuran brono ka yini yen a cho jalo pa yini rai de chan blo pire to pir ngaeto etin gena no ngen mikila tin ne to man we ci to on kene to ye kango limitation to nongs tradition limitation ke to kine diar ko tike lum gichin boys the public of which man ten jam wo ka diara chenang boys ati gale bo ku bi ga nyal kulele rula ko kulo begam association diarare bro quote ko association diarali one women association ye kerun mat ke group lui ka advocate for their freedom to nongen ke ke nya akana lwa nyir ko achok lon sukuli ke kale bilon sukuli ke railway diar of which only one ne traditional society na lwel yati kanong kele lwel ke amade community ke diara ke jam ti ke wede kwai akale bran koran ye wo ke berer lo lwel ngeda ke ya wo ke yo muchen ye lo ele maneya ke wer kana le mo yo na le ke idea de barman tiyo ke amendment ke community ai more consultative than before. One amendment to community are consultative, but in the family setting, are consultative. You find that there were some of the men Elias, liberanga jam nana they can't keeping the but who told you women were controllers of the society? And a good man theogana one kurukti mo jalebiti chownurun ke kor nyareche kwale bu kwanchu nurun ke dia run ke wan ke but ke lo le barbala ben runti ka barbala ben penela ku mo ja chi gaw na rugu chak den to ngwen ke kuli chi ruwen kala no dengi aguchi bela tuala le ke chi lo pa na ni che ping wel ke ti ka ngo be dengi agudu man tia ba ade ji ka bag dengi ke wer lwel ti so kanano ran jam chi ping wer ti ke ran ke na ya lwel so now you came from the traditional time. A good chairman theogene. Women anong tie kerur ni aku kachiru rachi keti. Na bare no mur kunonga korba ke demand ke ka kor ke kalwel mur an chetingdu. Eh? An chetingdu tieke. Beka ke kor ke beka ala loyi ni tingmia. Na bar ku yet acting mi agal wela an che mur ba ke korba ni aloyi. Game lu ke play ne gam da chiru ritim kare jetur. Ku kato so ke kor ke ne ke kar balwel ki family e understanding e bu korut ping na pyang korut pandun anchi jam gulala dunu hit chip du game but yo ngui generic view hit chip nga e mo jen kenom de bai bana le mo le ku nyu ping lu tin ne ka cha palmu so la cha gamu lu no rur ko na lo mo ti mane ke kalwel lo tin mane ngade ai ka ti ka be ke na to bai ke chin tot rur ka chin mikela chin gidi wana ke because I can bake as long bake na peaceful and mikila wake lekin ajala te point ni jama ye ngai nom de bai ke ka loy define ti chok drane ne gamin in kete anal so but bend to the point women empowerment etung de katia ke because bi me ke society ji mana ci bera bi do ne kala na ka duer ku chik kwa ci bera bi do ne kala na tiong a ci bera bi do ne ka rapur ai bi de ne ka ja ko wo ke ya pir ne wo now na ci ya pir wo ku yeti ge but agu bane lo jepe ku yeti ge but ki ci na da kan kor kana ke jem duen ka bene kriye banda tiniten ka ke ku ne yana guti bala na mikila a kor rat chan be diar empowered binanga kor ke gi ka lo ne guken binang businesses lui karan binang organization lui karan binang good education binang skill kor agokurun mu kumu ka baiken kana chin mikila so but na bugu no point and hit chipi kan they can kai tin ten lo ga che diari and hit chip to choka yen skill inde kuchaga yen wo inde ka de gi chiralo thank you
and after the in check da chaba elaborated it and I think ko ke jugu lang le ne jomani ya ko pinta na dili wo jalo wa dila del talk kien jal to chan bu achu understood mana de kien unter okay ni ku mana de kien mo jen ga ya gul ba en ga ba chom ne ga to kana but ching gel ba ching mane jal ba wo so en ga in wo ni mana de kien ai lo mana ting en ga to ma chwa ba nam ai man che nga wunda wo ji jai ga ke ra ne e ke to kana ye lo mana lo
chodit kana chola kine chi jal
Right.
pol ni tang ne jamon e go ton te anyan monjang kuler pande kai jamalo mu munduka diar ke ka ke yurur mu akanate man tiyo ku diar bi amu kurura kai kang bai bai ke go to tere che ke goro de man tiyo kana nya e jambu mundula mu kwai resources lo ka ke di pandin mana le benang chola tiu na to nganya nen e yama kwa ngaman tio gen to ngene jal chol ale biti la loy panden kule bay ka bi man bo loy ku bi wo ko yo be ne mo ko che ne makol so kana bi wo ko ka kan ka ye ka lwet pan nyande aka ben nyande ko mo inde ben mu ka ke to so kwa ke che ye ne aka che biu ye ne mo je na head of the family chi riok ka ga to un ter so ana to ku no ka to no watching ka chi wa le to the point don't work ke che family hit chi ben wa in undermine bu based on resources thank
Cholo, yeah.
Anang yang dia ni pada piau ko ada ke pada piau kentok. My point ke cho about ne mana ada ke cho headship aya relate kan leadership. Ko leadership a give chi myoyi. So at time nyara tinga waler divine ko I think the leadership thank God. So leadership both sides. So can actually I believe that headship is associated with the leadership. Leadership a give. And all men cannot be given a leadership, a gift from divine. I don't agree with that. So, in the end, two people, who can identify manadarian, this woman is gifted. Gifted to lead this family of the two. I don't have a problem with that. So problem will come if the wagagam mandagain anang certain things, a tradition. Chimane betik bila choditi alue prevent. Quite ache kuya good bila tiko weti kyola they will know. But because setting a barrier, they cannot go there. But in the household, chen ko lu agree ki kale belau. Now so le ada chiti kilwel manadagen mo da chiti potential to lead the family. Kal as kwache che mo. So making it as a gender or a automatic a very detrimental. Second to it, in the bayamot, and you have lost the headship. Sinano can be there. In the value and the head being the head, regardless, chicha in the So my point is that purity and leadership associated can head of the family. In identity.
Ayen, thank you, Cholo.
But me, understand that. Sorry?
You can go.
So, okay. So, Tiana that it in Madera and they be head of the family. Or, and there are two things that can be calibrated. Someone a little bit career and then it become a shared responsibility. So, kwanana core tradition, ye moj parbe kene loy, kamoja pere betege he has to lead and represent the family. But generalizing the whole aspect, a family, kugamra anto, I think na dak achieve fair. Kwelu are related but doing forward so that na loli udowenga benja ben kwanato ka kon yongo to den to ntin regardless ti gelatin. So bajange ben mi achen into. Then ka achen meaning ka che honesty. So if we want to empower it, let's do empowerment full complete. Kubu apo to yeteno le benetic ben in kweteno le ben mo are coming in as a shared responsibility. Then kuka che le bilala which direction a cha loss. You can because anyway, let me stop there. I may take time. But leadership a give. Could give can be given to anyone. So restraint ajaban based on the community setting. In Calibanity, Churity, in Calibanity, Chelo in car by and all those things ajaban based on the tradition could setting to society now. Thank you.
Ayen chol ma yola na cha tok chima ne ne yutan message do gana because watch tok only 5 minutes ka dong ku gada tiek ran to 1 minute yutan messages gana galwel ene ake do gana long kitin ba mari yutan message yang na le generally kichaping ku discussion jara loy ku lon ine yo china de ba ile bi chiang tena de ni ko ba jal taw ni mari do.
Okay. Anyway, that's my U-turn message. My U-turn message is that now do a potential to lead the household on certain aspect allowed him to lead. Because anang take a thing to ben the re-rain kichotek. Let her pass. So in came my responsibility, family a shared responsibility. A shared responsibility there. But that okay to wake the all hit.
Thank you.
Could go all hit. I don't think it's there. So I loy below in the family. Keke it's supposed to be hit kaloy. So to me, share responsibilities, including the hate, what we call the hate. Thank you.
Engineer Kur, Koraban by yutan message do balwel and make it brief and
and shukran web viewers. You know, and chakwai gaga jagating out online, so mean that conversation at other pet kubaya la twin. Yen my U-turn message wala yana wadiya na kar. You know, achin kawini yipen achan batting to buy in power. Cause achal well initially wet how kawaya partners. Kaya all head of the family rana when nanang kitchen ben kitchen luya rise ayan kaya dodge gurnam. Man nanang yan tiyan tiyak in the future karan gurnam by a head of the family a baba dia. Well a chol nga again I mean. Cause I naka biya una nyan tinam ya. Chating so ayan kaya chol head of the family. Rana when nanang kitchen yendi yene kaya gurnam ku boko janangen yene kaya chol head of the family by any definition there kana so na la ben wehdian bal ko tilabi ha ka kadan I think it's quite liab nim well kaya tinga wer kana wo ka te wen kwa chaping no ngo korol ku yene ka choka la kirol e ka ye chol brand lui provide I think ram penin ba lui provide anyway that yeah I know responsibility kwat bene law wakot and na kor ba responsibility ba te ichiman wen yana elda nyaral wel aka kor ku e chingrani yitil so nanang chiman na anang akukule chal wel wan anang ting tikana monde so wo ka loy pande moje ka yin wo ka ngadi up to ground beam right ache ground beam ye chol ngo beam hot so would jot ko pin min foundation a guten chi kadang chi kadang chi beam ku yok moj wo ka lwele tiga bili ting dia bili ben abu wajoli yen when roofing go ben immediately nyan ko e balwel nyan ton aya ko la ye ben mana were go nyan ton go li ben go ben ka de wew ka den wew ke roofing Allah be leba da Allah be chwar pin chating so okene na ba mon du ba ko different kan ke ye chol by a head of the family. In summary, by a head of the family, you can run when you gurnum, nanangane problem chilu rise. Mendu kujor le nyane ran dem kwal, you know benti, you are the head of the family. chin ting chi jo ko la thi ka le pada man du chi kana chi loy is chero de loy na pir baba de chating even if baba de ye ran chi nya ba chin khil lew ay ngot ka thi ku je kwat je ngot kala kadang chating so we cha ke le chukran don.
And like the agent in you turn message.
Yeah. So I'm speaking in general. The one thing I believe men should do is win the bread. Get the money. This head of the family will automatically belong to you. But a cheti kuche chikake la be kubul chen kichilu contribution. Rightfully so, because empowerment, the way I think about it is empowerment is a protection. Women go get money to protect themselves, right? And acha protection do like you. Kubuku berry show that you can protect yourself. Kachin kayenu diar yokulweli yung yine be mohanyin that into a chakala bay, right? So let the women protect themselves. Let people who are in the marriage, the two of them decide who will be the head and in what case. So can be divided. Disciplining the children in Abia head of the family. Household management in Abia head of the family. Bringing money. Who will be bringing the money, or if it is both? So I feel like we can take it one decision at a time. But Kubulu generalize, it pushes a narrative that we don't want to teach young girls that getting empowerment, it's a bad thing, and you should not do it, and you should not challenge men. I think challenge can also be positive. Actually, challenge color, you know what? If wukunigala baika ka yin kaya ben jamle, just let me take care of it, right? At least tinga chi motivate, and you will not take money from her again. A really good practice that I know from Asian countries is the provider. And this is how it happened. They go earn the money, they give the money to the woman, all of the money. Now she will take allowance and give the man. This is Wokun beer. And the rest of the money will be used to manage the household, pay school fees, pay the bills. And I think that's joint leadership. Because most of the time, they need to, birth the kids, spend time, get a cake, um, to go take a quarter, take them to school, get them ready, things like that. So in ideal situation, yes, man has to be a breadwinner. But it's not ideal. So maybe you both can go and earn the bread, but head of the family really is situational, and then it need context to be defined. It doesn't just happen because into your message or into your anyone can be head of the family. Um, that's still what I think. Um, but men will have to be the breadwinners. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
No, thank you. And my U-turn message will be very short, although I would have loved to go long because I really love this discussion. And thank you, Chol, for coming up with this topic. And I learned a lot from, you know, as the question you've asked and how actually Anyar can explain. You have a very great understanding of the religion and the culture and how they merge together to form a tradition that is powerfully keeping women below no matter what. That's what I say. Then I really learn a lot from you. And if someone is listening to how the religion tradition meet together to define the role of women, even starting from family, because society, the single as powerful unit of a society is family. What is defined as the family? If your role is less in the family, then there is no way that your role will be greater in the society. And that is a fact. How you leave your house in Image, if you leave your house feeling less empowered, you will be less empowered outside the way you show up. Same to a woman, if you leave your house less empowered, I don't think che che put forward, right? And behind a man. So behind a strong man is a woman. That means that behind a strong man is a woman. So you need to you are behind. So if I just want to you to be right. Can society be to be right? Maybe to be maybe in places of women or places of children. And that is what tradition and religion want women to be in. By acting, by a benina call people in Benny Diarinche Benny Pand. By acting, call please Sunday school. In fact, religion didn't want women big bunai, big coin kanisa. And that is a battleground right now because women now are becoming bishops. But in the Bible, women but not purity in just supposed by chato kanisa dirty. That is a tradition when she kanisa the baby, which is we are all questioning this. And man can equal man can no paja and the better equal war jawali who really preach the Bible and can who is now learning the traditional religion. Can who is also exposed to atheist way of thinking. Can which have studied patriarchy and matriarchy. So there are all these different things. But now look better take away but the shorten. Know me that if a Christian family, you have to believe in the tradition and values of your Christianity. If your Christianity say that by that's basically what tradition Christianity say. So tradition and that is a sign by virtue of being this and some cultures have adapted that. If that's it well can you and you that's how you see the future, there's nothing that anyone else can do. If you can grow outside of that tradition now into different realities, and you want to say, well, we can redefine what that means, then now you have to you can make a U-turn. You are not boxed down to those. You can dismantle it, and that's where some feminism are actually dismantling this idea. Because you cannot be empowered to some limit. You have to be empowered to lead even at home and outside. And that has to be respected. So I believe personally, right now, I believe that, your family is in society and traditional way, gender, and ceremonial. And I live to talk, I get them by the reality, actually, a decision making. I remember for she used to be the one that called the shots. And when they look ahead of the family, but in reality, this woman, a real that actually very powerful voice in that family. And so being more, if that keep the order, okay, that someone has to be assigned, it has to be much, okay. But to me, I believe that this is causing a lot of problems right now. And it is causing chaos. That idea of headship, abuse, and it brings more confusion. I believe in Nanya that there's nothing. A partnership, pure partnership, then I negotiate fully and there will be more stability. And that in the future, I see the youth and I see is there will be a time where being done will not be determined by gender, by your leadership gift, nature, my by your ability to provide protection and resources to your family, not by just being much. And that would be Kenya. And not when you read it has to be more because what you could have jacker beg a jolly in when you take. Brewer jacker beg to stay in the lane. To stay there, I can look up great law nyanton. So we have to change that language to knowledge away.
Thank you, Banyar. Baik kakak jal ngade ko yin chu yen 1 minute bin message du bin jal gam yutan message.
Thank you. We chakelej we ko chi jam with ya. We chakelej we ko kwany we chuk online. My U-turn message at the Bible. From the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 18 and 19. Verse 18 diar karba yendiara. Ayelwela. We diar yagaton rier rur kone chiman te piaten nong bandit. Be diar biya submissive to nong rurkin. Yeneke one step to a peaceful family. Number two, in verse 19, werur yak diar kwanyar kudogo piode kait loke. So, key problem di diar ebia competing ken rurkin. Ko key problem di rur ebi piode kait lo diar ken. Ika kachi bay ko ke kachi ka distorted kwen kachi family leadership in ka chien rio. Now, when you lead the family with love, kachin gupin koi ko be submissive to nongin because in game guidance in on direction yen ke follow a commented in chi bobai kini problem to locate kunai tige submissive to nong mwende kachi driving a chi mo bernyai from the driving seat a good and jibri ayenum dang ngor ku bay ko ko wari urut kunyar kurut wo nang bay pet. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Banyanyar. Inje jama kula chalo cha chodik. Ne go lero de chalo ki cha more complex, but I really watch bent to the understanding. Chidi ara chi ni etan ngen gelu litin pi etan ngen ru ngen gelu litin. Kwen ke kar ba in the context of today, because in minter war in ala ro ngen ga yi headship yi ko to by ko kinna civilized yi la lumge lo ala long ke bay ka chin ke bay ki ni head of the family, so en mo pyo chu tong hang ina jam yo wala ne gara nan ke no pa na eh they are very arrogant kulil han kala ke no pa na ke ne kor bi nyai mana de kien e da man ke chol heading the family ko ja lui head in different ways ki net mo ku ino ting du alle be lang ni ke ne ke biti ka alle biting do alle be lew ke ne which mean a lui lead in handling that very task. So enge kar ba lwel kene anon ko wona de gena nyi kinetic you know knowledge but a chilibal lo ya libi mo ndo libi hando kene kala yeni kene no mini kene you see whereby a family whereby responsibilities are shared kwa che ko lu computer la an ke ngade jama no kena a jeti kiro le wona ko den renyin kuno ko bola lo di baro lo yin lo bala lo yo jina kon fich ni lo bala lo yin yo ko musole bala lo no chan mane anon ko ko mane ngin mana ar especially ko ko pan ka waja ka a cheran ke ko ke na chi ke doi berere ke ti ke le kwa le yo ko le la ke cher ga je ke no chu ga something chu ga ke re ke ti ka le yo lo in man ngadi ke chera lo ke ku ngadi a che telefon chi telefon da chi doi kwan en ga en wo ke le kin ba jal ngan kin jala bana le ne ti baro jal banu je nyoy jal ke chera lo ke chapin ke da ke ku ba ai ke na de ke kor rur mundu yene be jala loy ka jala le ke nu jala gwenom ba ko jala le ke jala lo e ke na a responsibility ga share ka nyi mana de ke yen final issue ne ke ne yen mo jala bela loy ke ne ti ga le bela loy so in understanding and but a lot that temper war more of tradition yen le la yen ti gen mo ga muksul en ga muksul ke ban e ke ne wala doror but now understanding of current state of families now yeah a partnership create ban korbe yeah kene ke lewti kene ke lew moj kene ke because anon ke lew moj ko anon ke lewti ke to na ken ko lew ko chene nyon mana de kien ke chene ti kene lew a chene no bay kunang de lew chene mu no mekena so okay deal to okay so understanding of today's topic it can bu watch to kan lon tare to ko war ko dir ko war watch jira lon ler wotin mana dir watch families mana ya partnership whereby can responsibility ake take it chirani ba overwork kimen tare on but da tare on you can decide but here can go in it mo jol ban so okay talking so thank you our audience which to one work topic ga ngene ya the last so captivating so ran ben eto ci ala ga de 26 a kira do loy gene ko ga tero go da bi de to bi de to 20s daman da daman lo bata lo ta garo de to man yi di giro so shukran at utan we always believe man adakien dialogue ene ke only way to the change so anong ko ke to war there ko dialogue na you could discuss man ka dilo ko ni bu taw into our setting and ga ni bahe ni ga lotwen. So thank you. Wa shukran wa by you next Saturday. So look web.
As we come to the end of this conversation, I just want to take a moment to remind you that the growth doesn't happen without taking a new direction. So if there is a message that has given you some clarity, some courage, or even a little bit of push towards the positive direction, I want you to take that with you, sit with it, go offline with it, and encourage you to continue to invest in your personal growth and say thank you for taking the time to be here for yourself and for the community, for the growth of the community. The U-Turn is not just a show. It's a community where real talk, real growth, and real U-Turn happens. So until next time, stay empowered, stay intentional, and never be afraid to make a U-Turn. Thanks. Bye.